So for the last couple of years, I've been on a bit of a side quest to find the perfect fibre to spin sock yarn with. And I've had a few experiments, and today is another one of those experiments. So if you're new here, my name is Becca, and you're very welcome to my slightly echoey conservatory in my home in West Wales. If you're an old friend, welcome back. So I have a selection of hand knitted, hand spun socks, and I'm just going to run through the different fibres I used with them. Some of them are somewhat worn and have been darned multiple times, but we'll go and just go through them. And all of these are somewhere on the channel. Can't remember where, but if I can find a kind of a sock playlist, that's what I'll do. I'll put together a sock playlist if I can work it out. I'm sure I can. Yeah, I can do that. Anyway, right, so first one, and this needs darning again, but these are the oldest socks I have, and they were a blend, and they have got all sorts of funny things in them. So bit of merino, bit of sari silk, bit of randomness, and basically this was made mostly from mill ends. And I'd say the stretch is still there. It's a little bit felted, but then it has got merino in it. What I would really like to be able to find is a fibre that I can hand spin and put in the washing machine. Okay, I put it in on a wool wash, but I don't want to have to hand wash all my socks. So that's kind of where I'm trying to get to. But I like the colours, and they said they're lovely and soft. They're really comfortable to wear, even though, as I say, they have been darned multiple times. Then the next socks I've got, and these again have been darned multiple times, and I did actually dye the yarn for this. Dye the yarn? No, I dyed the, it was comb top. I dyed it, and acid dyes, very unusual for me. I mostly do natural dyeing, but I wanted like a hand painted roving, so I did use an acid dye for this. Again, it's on the channel, and this was from Klin, and it was, again, I hand spun it, and it stayed pretty well actually. I mean, it is starting to felt a little bit now, but not so that I can't wear them again. So then the next one is a 3-ply. These two 2-ply, and I was very much the mind that 2-ply was kind of okay. I think I've changed my mind slightly because I did a 3-ply, and this is Cambrian wool, which is a mule, so it's Welsh Mountain crossed with BFL, and you get a you got what's known as a mule, and this has stood up pretty well. These are much sturdier, being a 3-ply, and I think I am somewhat converted to a 3-ply. So again, pretty sure they're on the channel as well. And the last one, and I'm still on the second sock for these, but this is a Shetland and 20% bio nylon, and I bought it as a roving. It is designed specifically for socks, and it came from World of Wool, and yeah, I just spun it and have been slowly knitting it ever since. So what makes a good sock yarn? Well, commercial sock yarn is generally 80% wool, 20% nylon. These days it tends to be bio nylon. You can get 100% wool, and certainly I quite like knitting with 100% wool. I don't particularly want to add nylon, even though you can now get bio nylon, which does biodegrade. I would prefer to stay with the natural fibres, and then potentially I can use natural dyes to dye it. Having done a bit of research and reading and recommendation, I have come up with a blend, and the blend was custom blended for me at World of Wool. Anyone could do that. You do have a minimum amount, 500 grams I think, which I guess is quite a lot. But if you love knitting socks, and hey, who doesn't, then I think it's worthwhile. If I'd had a hand carder or an electric carder rather than just my blending board and my combs, I probably wouldn't have bought the custom blend. I probably would have done it myself, but I don't. And, you know, kind of getting a custom blend done is an awful lot cheaper than buying a carder. Although that's another story. I am saving up my pennies. I'm about halfway there, so I still I am going to get one, just not at the moment. Anyway, I digress. So what have I gone for? I'll reach down here and show you. So you've probably seen this before, but this loveliness is Cheviot silk and British alpaca, which is why it is slightly sort of oatmeal-y in colour. And it is super, super soft. So I've gone for that blend, and it's 13% silk, 13% alpaca, and whatever the rest of that is, and I can't do the maths in my head, then that's Cheviot wool. And in theory, because the Cheviot is a down breed, and you've got silk that doesn't felt, and you've got alpaca that is less likely to felt, in theory, it should make a good sock yarn. So a couple of days ago, I got the wheel out and did some spinning. Sock yarns need to be hard wearing. So if you spin a worsted style of spin, you're going to get a nice smooth yarn that's going to be easy to work with, and that in theory should be very hard wearing. So if you start with comb top, which is exactly what I've got, and then use a method where you're doing a short forward draw and you're smoothing down all the fibres with your front hand, then you should get a nice, even, smooth yarn that's going to be absolutely ideal for your sock yarn. Socks need a fair bit of twist because you want to have a bit of spring in them, and I do tend to over twist them a little bit. It is definitely something I need to work on, but I want energised yarn, but I haven't quite got it right, I don't think. But anyway, that's for another day. So I loved spinning this. It was buttery smooth and it was just an absolute dream to work with. I'm so pleased with this blend. It is just a dream to spin. And I have been asked whether it's something I might consider selling, actually getting a more of a larger batch done and selling. At the moment, that's not my plan, but if it's something people would be really interested in, then maybe I'll consider it. Let me know in the comments. Anyway, right, I'm going to go to the magic of fast forward and see you at the end of this spin. So this is how it has spun up. I think I slightly over twisted it. You do want quite a lot of energy in your singles, but I think I went a little bit too far. So there's about 50 grams there. So the next time I spin it up, I won't put quite so much energy in, but still, I think it's going to be perfectly usable. So the next thing for me to do is knit up a sample and then put that sample in the washing machine. Could all go horribly wrong. So here we go, as if by magic, some samples. This one I'm going to keep unwashed so we can compare. Then you can see it's knitted up really nicely, and you can see there's a bit of sort of colour variation. I think probably I should have had it blended 5 times rather than 3 times, but you live and learn. Then we have the World of Wool sock fibre, and then this is Cambrian wool. So it is garter stitch, so whether we'll be able to do true comparison, I'm not sure, but it absolutely is the same wool that my favourite socks are made out of. So we'll be able to put those in the machine and compare them. They're going in a wool wash with just a little bit of soap powder, Lux Flakes to be quite precise, and they also are going in with Andrew's very, very soft, fluffy dressing gown. It's not toweling. It is some other fabric, sort of, I want to say velour, but I don't think it is. Anyway, it's very soft. So I want to sort of mimic a full wash. It's going on 20 degrees C. I'll put the Fahrenheit on the screen. So I'm going to do that. And while that's washing, we can go for a walk. I think we should go down to the beach. Well, it's a little bit overcast down here, but it's not freezing, about 7 degrees C, and tides, quite big tides at the moment, tides going out, I think, as she says, like I know what I'm talking about, don't really. I didn't actually look at the tide times when I was coming down here, but just I remember last night, the state of the tide when I came down last night, so I sort of thought, oh, I think we'll be all right for a walk, and we are. So Millie is herring about on the beach, barking at people and dogs and sticks and all sorts of things. And we met a little Pembrokeshire Corgi in Pembrokeshire. So beloved of the old Queen, the Pembrokeshire Corgi. Very cute little dogs. They were originally used for driving cattle. So they were a cattle dog. Anyway, well, I've just spotted that the sea beet is looking quite sort of green and luscious, so I'm going to pick some. The wind's picked up, so I think that's going to put pay to me recording any more video. And I'll see you back in the house, fingers crossed, we'll have some results. So I have returned and we have some results. So there you go. As you can see, they are all still nice and stretchy, not felted, and not shrunk in the slightest. If I compare, so that's the one that went in the washing machine. It's still a little bit damp. And then that's the one that didn't go in the washing machine. I mean, there's just no difference. Incredible. So, hurrah. I think it is safe to say that this sock blend works by putting it on a wool wash, admittedly, but in the washing machine, and it was with other things, or I'll say it was with a dressing gown, but I think you could safely put it with other things. I mean, maybe not a pair of jeans and towels and things which are hard, but soft things that are not going to kind of bash it about, or even maybe put them into a like a laundry bag or something so it didn't get all kind of messed up. Yeah, I think they're going to work. So I guess the next test is a wear test, because that's the thing that really felts your woolen socks, is wearing them. And I am very hard on my feet. I am, you know, a bit overweight, so my socks take quite a battering. And I also kind of I'm a bit uneven because I've got a damaged knee, so I don't walk absolutely kind of the way I used to, put it that way. I've got a bit of a kind of, it's not quite a limp, but I kind of favour one side. Anyway, you didn't need to know all that, but I am hard on my socks and my feet and my shoes. So yeah, next project is going to be making some more sock yarn. Don't put quite so much twist in, and I guess that's another video, isn't it? Right, so what did I learn from this exercise? Don't put quite so much twist in when you're spinning it. And the next time I get a custom blend done, I will actually do the full 5 cycles, which you can request. I mean, if I wanted to have colour separation, that would be completely different. You wouldn't blend it as much. But I think just because I want to have all those fibres blended together, then I would kind of send it through the machine 5 times. Yes, to give them the ultimate wear test, I need to actually make a pair of socks for them, don't I? And I want to dye them. And I'm going to do a bit of a dyeing experiment, but it's not going to be a natural dyeing experiment. I know if you've watched this channel, you'll think all I ever do is natural dye, and I probably said it at the beginning of the video. Oh, that was hours ago. I can't remember what I said then. Anyway, I think I said I do sometimes do acid dyeing, and I use Ashford acid dyes because they have the kind of the certification that they're kind of non-toxic and, you know, kind of they meet certain environmental standards. There is a whole long kind of number for it, which I will put on screen, but I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. And I can't even remember what organisation it is. So I'm a wealth of knowledge for you, aren't I? But I will look it up and put it on screen. Right, so that's me done for today, and I will see you in a few days' time.